Pittsburgh Comic Expert here, also known as PGH Comic Expert. Got a haul video, been under the weather, starting to feel a little bit better, so decided to shoot this. I actually have my voice back. For those of you who may have been following some of my feeds and conversations with fellow subscribers, I did say that I had a Harvey Pekar voice a while back. So some of you may know who Harvey Pekar is if you ever saw the movie American Splendor, or if you were a fan of R. Crumb or Underground Comics. Harvey Pekar did a book called American Splendor, and it actually is on my bucket list to get. I've been looking for that book for a really long time. It's super hard to find because it was self-published by Harvey himself, and he's just he passed away years ago. But still, I never get tired of watching that movie, especially since he was portrayed by Giamatti. Anyway, no more Harvey Pekar voice. Back to normal now. So got a lot of books. I want to start off with a figure I picked up. Now, I don't ever buy figures anymore. I used to have this massive collection of carded Star Wars, and I got rid of all of them for dirt cheap just because they're just so overproduced. But when it comes to the new movie, The Force Awakens, this character, you never see him. Ever. I mean, I've gone to Target, Walmart, Toys R Us. They're always out of Kylo Ren. So I only typically buy the Sith, the bad guys carded. So I did pick up him, and that'll probably be the only figure I pick up from this movie. So that's that. And like I said, I liquidated I had 3 tubs of figures. I'm down to 1, and those are all my Movie Maniacs, and they're in my and they are tucked away in storage. So maybe one day I will get them out of storage and show you all of them because they are still pretty cool. That's why I kept them. All right. So moving the figure aside, got a lot to cover. Went to my local shop that has my pull list, and I've been trying to get the whole run of Alias. So I did manage to, I went through their dollar bin just real quick. I literally had like 10 minutes. So I went through the dollar bin and I picked up Alias number 5. Zoom out a little bit there. And these are all real nice shape. Number 6. Number 7. Number 9. Number 11, and number 12. So I read a good bit of these, well, maybe 3. That's a good bit because I literally have no time to read comics anymore with dad responsibilities. But, I started reading this book, and I'm into it. I can dig it. So I'm going to try and pick them all up and read them. Number 1 is probably the toughest one to find. I might just have to bite the bullet and buy the reprint first, because I'm not paying $90 for a book that came out, in the late 2000s. All right, so that's all for the local shop that had my pull list. I was trying to pick up my We Can Never Go Home and Transference, but apparently Black Mask is on a delay, so I won't be getting those books until December. All right, got a handful of books. Let's see. Went to that resale shop, and this was probably, I didn't notice this the last time I was there. It was Havoc and Wolverine Meltdown number 1. That's the Epic imprint of Marvel. Picked that up. That was 33 cents. I picked up some less spectacular books from there that I'm not really going to show because there's just nothing to them, but that was probably the coolest one out of that find. And the rest of these books, I'm going to show you the stack first. Was a proxy bid auction. Now these were all, I actually watched this auction. So as you can see, there they are. That was all proxy bid. And these literally cost me, I think, 80 cents a piece. Some of them cost me like $1.50 a piece. So we got Detective Comics 608, First Anarchy. $5.99 with that weird cover of Batman drooling green slime. $5.98. 80-page giant. Picked up 4 Infinity Gauntlet books that are in decent shape. And I'll just put them all. The only one that's not in the best shape is part 4. And those were all $1.50 a piece. That's 2, 4, 5, and 6. Like I said, 4 is not in the greatest shape. It's got some issues there. It's the best cover, though. And the rest of them are pretty mint, and they're newsstand, so can't really complain about that. Next one, I picked up some War Machine books. You guys all know I love War Machine. It's my favorite Iron Man armor. So we got War Machine number 1, and I'm not really thrilled. I didn't notice this at first, but what do you want for 35 cents? A book is that the foil's starting to wear off here. It's actually the second time I own that book. And then these ones here, I'm not really, I don't really know anything about them. I saw a couple of Evil Ernies in there, but Detonator number 1, can't really see that because of it's all foil. Brink of Eternity number 1. Evil Ernie 1 of 1, it's a one-shot. And another Evil Ernie number 2 of 4. Evil Ernie the Revenge. So I'm a fan of the early Evil Ernie stuff. I'm probably going to try and sell those. Okay, eBay. Oh boy. eBay. So last video I showed you a preview. So I'm just going to start with this, just with a bang. Boom. Iron Man 128, that was $7. There's a reason why it was $7. It's got some issues there along the spine, so this is a reader copy. Probably still going to keep it though. I don't know. I want to leave that one up there though for a minute. So Marvel, a while back I showed you a Marvel Spider-Man vampire variant. Well, there's actually the Iron Man vampire variant. Excuse me. That basically doesn't have him. It has him not seeing his own reflection. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was my preview for last video. And it looks like my backdrop here is having some issues. Okay, we got Fantastic Four vampire variant. I thought that was a pretty cool cover. Secret Avengers. I didn't really know what this was. It was like real cheap. Nobody was bidding on it, so I got it for a couple bucks. That's the I Am Captain America variant for the 70th anniversary. I may or may not keep that one. I know I'm not going to keep this one because it's Deadpool, and I don't really like Deadpool. But nobody bid on it. It's Deadpool versus the Hulk. That's a pretty cool cover, I got to say. Even though I hate Deadpool. Sorry, Robert, if you're watching. Okay, that was all from the same seller. And this one was the last one I bought from them. This is a variant of Hulk number 12. That is a beautiful Arthur Adams cover. And it's a wraparound. So that's the front. And then that's the back. And it's a weird ass story too, because like Red Hulk just goes on a killing spree. And then everything gets reset. Like he killed everybody. And then everything got reset. Alright. So got some other cool Bronze Age stuff here. I forgot that I had this. I ended up bidding on it because nobody else was. But it's a higher grade than the one I have. It was Swamp Thing number 3. I love Bernie Wrightson. So I'll pick up cheap Wrightson if I can. Speaking of Wrightson, House of Secrets number 100. That's a pretty badass cover too. Can't really complain about that. And Iron Man 125. That leaves me one book left before I complete the Bob Layton run. And that's a pretty cool cover that has Ant-Man in it. Alright, almost done here, guys. Trying to keep my videos about 15 minutes or better. So I bid on these. I'm jumping on the Alias, the Jessica Jones bandwagon. And I ended up picking up all of these. Let's see. So there's 7 books here. and it cost me, I had a bunch of money in PayPal, so it was like $40 for all of these. So I'll just get started here. So I told you I was picking up the Alias runs. So I ended up getting 22, and you'll understand why these cost a little bit more here in a minute. 23, and these are all mint too. 24, that's the first modern appearance of the Purple Man, although I'm reading things that he appeared in this X-Man comic before it. I know, I'm going to give you the, I don't know, simply because I'd have to go and check the dates, and like I said, I'm not a huge fan of modern books anyway, but I think this Alias series is cool, and I like the Purple Man, so I'm going to pick all these up and read the crap out of them. That's what my friend told me to do. He said, just read them because you'll love it. So we got 25, Purple Part 2, 26, Purple Part 3, 27, Purple Part 4, that's actually a double, and the final issue of the series was Purple Part 5, that's number 28. So happy with all those, picked those up. Would it cost me a little over $6, $7 a book almost $7 a book, so I can't really complain about that, especially with how hot Jessica Jones has gotten lately. So, alright, got some real awesome ones here to show you, and I'm starting to lose my voice, so I'm going to make it quick. So a while ago I told you I picked up a high-grade copy of the first Don Rosa artwork on Uncle Scrooge. So there it is, nice high-grade copy. The seller had that at about a 9.4. He's probably right. I mean, it looks really good, but it's cut funny right here. But the corners and everything are sharp. There's no dings in the spine. So I thought that was a pretty good find there. All right, Vin Crew knows that I love finding Zelda comics. So here is another one. This was a local Pittsburgh eBayer. That literally nobody was bidding on that, and those Zelda books are really rare from Valiant, and I picked that up for $5. And I got it next day too, because the guy lives in Pittsburgh. So, and because I live in the Pittsburgh region as well, literally he put it in the mail, and I got it the very next day, so I couldn't complain at all about that. I think I only need 1 or 2 more, because I think there weren't a lot of Zelda books. I think maybe 4 at the most, 3 tops, 4. I mean, yeah, 3 to 4. I think I know there's a number 3 out there, but I haven't seen a number 4. I'd have to check. But that was a pretty cool find. You guys probably saw that I picked up a number 1 recently. All right, now this one here I am really stoked about. And I've been looking for this for a while, and I found it on eBay real cheap. I made the guy an offer on it. Boom. That is Macross number 1, the official English adaptation of Robotech. I loved Robotech when I was a kid. And when I saw this book, he was accepting offers, and it's probably about an 8.5. It's got some issues over here, and the spine's okay. The purple's starting to fade a little bit on the cover in some spots, but this book is usually pretty expensive in mint condition, but I'm willing to accept every collector has a grade. All right, this is the final book, and this is the one-shot that beats every one-shot out there forever. All right, you guys all hyped up now? You ready for that? Okay, the one-shot to beat one-shots is, boom, Iron Man and Submariner number 1. I've been looking for this book for a really long time. I bid on it on eBay. I sniped it. I ended up getting it for half of what it usually sells for. And I got that for about $30. And that in that grade, that is easily a $60, $70 book. So I'm really happy with that. And again, it didn't really cost me much because I sold books. So I sold books and used that money that I got from selling them to buy that one. So For those of you who don't know, and this is where I'm going to wrap it up, is Iron Man and Submariner didn't have their own title for the longest time. Iron Man was featured in Tales of Suspense. He started in the 30s, I want to say 39. And oh, you guys are going to crucify me if I say I'm going to say. So yeah, Tales of Suspense 39. That was first Iron Man, and he went all the way to 99. See, now y'all got me second guessing. I'm going to fact check, just to make sure you guys don't lambaste me. I was right. God forbid I'm off by a number. So Tales of Suspense 39, and he ended, and that series ended at 99. So there were two stories in 99. It was Captain America and Iron Man. Iron Man's story finished, or Captain America went on to Captain America 100. So that's officially like Silver Age Captain America #1. And Iron Man went on to feature in this one shot, and this is where that story was finished. Now, Submariner also didn't have his own book. Golden Age legend, oldest Marvel character known to man, literally. Publication was in the, I don't know, I want to say it was in the late 30s. I mean, the guy's, he is the oldest Marvel character ever. Superhero, anyway. And he didn't even get a book until it was Tales to Astonish number 70, which I showed you guys that already. And that ended in issue 101. So they went and put these two together in their own one-shot to finish the stories that wrapped up in those two books. And then after that, each one went on to have their own #1. Submariner Prince Namor, the Submariner #1, and then Iron Man #1. So this is a huge key, huge find. If you ever see this book, buy it. If it's at a great price, buy it. All right, folks, I'm losing my voice. I've got nothing else today. Thanks for watching. Peace.